all the way over here because I'm dumb. This is the whole stream. This is really loud in my ears and I can't think of anything else. So I discovered what the issue was with only half of the game was showing. I can't play this in windowed mode. It has to be full screen. Or else it throws off the aspect ratio for some reason. And I don't understand it. So it's fine. This is our new setup. We'll see how it goes. This is the first time we've streamed with this setup. Also, everything feels very far away from me. I don't know what's happening. I have tea, I have bread. We're gonna hit load because we're going back to Arcade Spirits. Click on this. So at peace. A moment. Whoop! I almost spilled tea everywhere. I'm in a bad way to start with this new setup. That's a very hot tea. I don't think I need to type, so we're just gonna put this in the way of the keyboard. So at peace. In fact, I don't even notice the underboss of the arcade sliding on up behind me.
Good day.
Not a bad first day so far. Been keeping tabs on you, while others have been, and they've been texting me. Yeah, okay. You know, you should consider getting a proper group chat app going. Got a crappy phone plan, my texts aren't free. Valid point, I'll look into that. Yeah, back in... I don't know when this game is from. But, you know, my generation... I sound so old. Anyways, when I first started texting, we paid per text, and I went over my limit a lot. Like, a lot.
Impressive.
I'm impressed with how you handle yourself. I think you're gonna work out just fine. Anyway, I prepared your paper. If you'd like to go sign it and make this working relationship a bit more above board, no, please pay me under the table.
Yeah!
So you're staying? Please tell me you're staying. I mean, I fed you and everything. Francine hasn't fired her yet, right? Honorable Nightmare joins the impromptu staff gathering.
Ooh!
Tori's off to a great start. Here's to your first day, followed by many more. Wow. Don't you have jobs to attend to? Just ordered a replacement power supply for Robotron. TM. Nothing left to do for the day. Not many kids around for me to entertain. Finally, a quiet moment. My dream job has been going a mile a minute since I got here. Is it my dream job? Taking this job was a risk. The arcade business is a risk, and I knew if I didn't leap into it, well, I'd stay utterly stuck in life. It's been a strange kind of day. Hectic, stressful, surreal at times. But I've been riding that wave and riding it well. My coworkers seem just as strange, which is a plus. We're all in this together. I could find some kindred spirits with this crew. You know? I don't know how long this game is, but it's $20 on itch, so I think it's a couple streams at least. So dream job could be. It very well could be. We've only got a few hours till closing, and it's nice and quiet. How about we game a bit? Yeah, he is tall. Speak for yourself. I've still got paperwork to handle. Oh, come on. Don't act like you don't game. Irrelevant. And it's 8 chapters long, and you're about halfway through chapter 1. So yeah, more than a few. That's good. I know your dirty little secret. What? Naomi? You sneak in early each morning to play pinball. That's what you sneak in to play? You're a pinball wizard. Ah, well, what of it? I bring order to chaos. Pinball is the very expression of that art form. Isn't it? You know what we should do? Impromptu pinball tourney. Girls are giggling, and I'm finding myself smiling right alongside them. All in all, not a bad way to end my first day. Wow, 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 wow.
By the way, I've booked a birthday party for this afternoon.
Oh. One question marks all around. The looks of confusion and outright terror on their faces, all laughter dying off immediately, are vaguely concerning. I'm gonna move this to here. I feel like that covers up the least because there's a little bit of artwork over in the corner. There's like artwork here. Oh, I'm really not showing my cursor either, which is fine. But there's artwork in the corner.
Sorry, I meant to tell you, dears, but I plumb forgot.
Birthday party? How old are the kids, may I ask? It's her 5th birthday. Oh, to be young again. 5 years old? Naomi starts pulling at her hair, eyes wide and trembling. Throwing ski balls overhand into the glass, jumping up and down on pinball machines, putting chewing gum into coin slots. Pulling at my costume, tearing off pieces of it. Naomi, Ashley, keep it together. We've survived kids' birthday parties before. Doom, the end is nigh.
Well, I'd hate to get in the way of all the fun. Yep, it's time for my afternoon nap anyway. Have fun, dears.
Oh boy. Right, battle stations, everyone. I'll take ticket desk so I can oversee operations. Ashley, greet the kids. Naomi, watch for hardware damage. Tori, roaming duty. Look for trouble. Do what you can. Prepare yourselves. They are coming. Like an oncoming tidal wave, the rumble is felt before it is seen. Parents pulling into the parking lot. Minivans disgorging kindergartners, and suddenly... Oh, God. Wow. That's terrifying. An explosion of small humans rushes the doors, bursting to the arcade before scattering every which way. Even before any of them can get tokens, they're grabbing at joysticks, mashing buttons, eager to get their game on, or even just pretend to be playing. The crew assumes battle stations. Naomi by the fragile pinball machines, Ashley near the door trying to distract the incoming kids to greet them. Gavin, armed with pre-stacked $10 rolls of tokens, quickly exchanges them with the adults, Beats waiting in line at the chained machine. As for the pro gamers, well, Queen Bee and Tio's friends bolt for the exit, abandoning them, keen on getting out ahead of the surge of kiddies, I guess. It's all very well and good, but I've got no idea where I'm supposed to be. Roaming duty, Gavin said. Look for trouble, Gavin said. I mean, I was doing that before, but now the chaos has multiplied. For a few minutes, I'm like a pinball, being bounced around, or like that frog, trying to cross a highway of traffic. Eventually, I spot 3 possible problems on the rise, and Tori, professional floor attendant, is ready to attend to them. Which one of these should I tackle first, though? May not be able to deal with all of them in time. 2 kids fighting over a box of cupcakes near Naomi and Ashley. Angry adult shouting at a kid near Tio and Queen Bee. Little girl crying over her stolen tickets near Percy and Gavin. We're gonna go to the angry adult shouting at a kid. That seems the most traumatizing. The sounds of hardship call to me from the Fast Cars 5 racing games. Oh, my little cursor is there. I just didn't see it before. Shouting adults and crying children are never particularly good signs, and I hope beyond hope that I can take this on. Oh, I didn't know if that button would work. As I get closer to the revving of the engines and the clacking of shifting gears, I see a grown woman berate a cowering boy.
I didn't.
Oh. Admit it! I know what you did, you brat! You manipulated my precious son to put his tokens in your game! You should be ashamed of yourself! I'm sorry. Children like you are the absolute worst. Garbage. Whoa, 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 whoa! You can't call a child garbage! That's like Adult 101! Ma'am, keep your voice down. There's no need to shout at a child, no less. What's going on here? This jerk of a boy told my sweetest beyond sweet Josh that he should put in his own tokens into the racing machine so he could play it for free. Josh earned these tokens from his own allowance, and I won't let some devil child steal his money. Let's just take a moment to calm down, okay? Before I say anything else, I spot Queen Bee and Teo out of the corner of my eye. Queen Bee looks infuriated, and Teo has buried his face in his hands. Actually, now that I stop and think about it, they might have some insight. The racing games are right next to Showtime stage. Teo probably had a good vantage point of the whole thing if he was dancing on stage. And just by the way Queen Bee's brows are furrowed, I can tell something is not sitting right with her. I could ask one of them for their help. Or I could try to solve this one by myself. Ask Teo. Teo was right next to the action when it went down. I decided to check in with him. I'm uncapturing my cursor. Ma'am, I know you're upset right now, but if you please stop shouting, we can get this all settled. Teo? I refuse to calm down until the child has been appropriately punished. That such disrespect is tolerated in this arcade is appalling. Oh, I'm giving you the worst online reviews! Teo jumps down from the stage and approaches the shouting woman. He puts his hands up.
Sheesh.
Simmer down, simmer down. This can all be explained with science. Really? I mean, right! Of course, Teo, by all means, elaborate. Teo walks past us and right up to the Fast Cars 5 game. He casually slumps into the driver's seat and then motions for us to come near. Let me show you both something. Teo points at the car console. It's got a wheel, which is fantastic and totally necessary for a driving game. Pedals, gear shifts, and so on. But the feature Teo draws our attention to are the 2 coin slots, which are vertically stacked one on top of the other. Okay, so this is where you drop your tokens in to play the game. However, do you see how it's practically identical? Oh, practically in the middle of these 2 identical consoles. Which game does the top slot belong to? The right hand or the left hand game? The top would go to the right. It's obviously the right one, right? I mean, correct? Of course not, fool. It's the left one.
Exactly.
Tori is correct. What? Preposterous. See, these import games can be confusing. I'm sure your son just put his token in the wrong slot. Common mistake, really, happens all the time. Considering how confused I was, I could see a small child read just as, if not more, confused. Honestly, mine was just a lucky guess. Give Teo a grateful look, happy that the crisis has been dealt with. The frustrated customer would undoubtedly apologize for yelling at the boy now. How dare you imply my precious Joshua was wrong? Can't believe the gall of some people. Josh! Josh, get over here! We are leaving this horrible arcade! Right now! Oh well, didn't see that one coming. The woman scoops over her child and storms out the front door. I don't think we'll see her or her son anymore, and frankly, I'm cool with that. Once they're gone, Teo looks back at me from the driver's seat and shrugs.
No can do.
There's just no pleasing some people. I feel sorry for her, son. That's no way to treat a kid. Teo's sprightly and happy demeanor shifted slightly, eyes glazed over as he looked into the distance. I haven't seen Teo act like this before. He just looked so upset. I wonder if I should check in with him. I know it's really none of my business, but I should make sure Teo's okay. It seems like you really can empathize with this kid's plight. Hey, everything alright? You need anything? After pausing for a moment, the fire returned by his eyes. Yeah, I'll be okay. Just reminded me of how I'd get treated, by teachers notably. I'd space out in class daydreaming, and they'd rake me over the coals for it just to start authority. Total overkill.
Bummer.
Really bums me out to see adults mistreat kids this way, you know? I like to treat people with respect, even where they're in the wrong, like you saw just now with that woman. I appreciate you taking some time to ask me, you know? Shows you got respect too, and empathy. You're a kind person, Tori. But I'm not that important. You should make sure that boy is safe and sound.
Catch you later. I'm
headed back to Showtime stage. Holler if you need anything. Give a quick wave to Teo as he returns to his game. After poking around a bit, I managed to find the kid, still shaken up from the whole ordeal. Sorry about all that. Are you going to be okay? I think so. I swear I didn't do anything. The other kid, he just came up out of nowhere and dropped his token in my slot. After I lost, I got off the game and offered it to him. He just ran away. And then that woman approached you and started yelling. The boy nods, wiping his snotty nose on his shirt. Uh-huh. Well, if it's any consolation, the bad lady is gone, and I don't think she's gonna ever come back. The boy, cheeks still streaked with tears, lets a smile spread on his face.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tell that nice man thanks for sticking up for me, too. I nod, and the boy scurries off and rejoins some of his other friends. Right, that's sorted out. But the other two situations are about to spin out of control. I've only got time to deal with one of them. Which one? Two kids fighting over a box of cupcakes, or a little girl crying over her stolen tickets. We're gonna deal with this one. I can smell disaster in the window. It smells sweet. As in, I can smell that box of birthday cakes one of the parents left near the ticket desk, with kids swarming around it, scavenging for their favorite icing colors. At first, my inner child was immediately offended that someone thought one of those icing blob cupcakes was superior to actual birthday cake. But there are clearly larger issues at stake than that.
I want a chocolate.
Don't take
all the chocolate.
I want 2 cupcakes. Give me 2 cupcakes.
No fair. Everybody gets one, and mine's gotta be chocolate.
Of course, the kid at the front grabs the last one.
Finders keepers, losers weepers. Ha ha ha.
Parents aren't paying attention. They're too busy complaining about their jobs and the weather and the PTA and stuff. Meaning when the first cupcake is thrown, nobody is there to stop it.
Stop it, stop it.
I want chocolate.
As blobby wads of icing and sponge cake go flying, I glance over to the coin-op games, which are about to get caught in the crossfire. Naomi, who's busy trying to unjam a joystick, one of the kids waggled too hard, looks up to see the cupcake onslaught coming her way. And so does Ashley, whose fuzzy costume is a nice and inviting target for flying confectionery. Act fast, Tori. Try to save them both! Quickly, I hurl myself into the action. Get down! That's good. That's good. Numbness sets in as multiple rounds of frosting-coated mortar fire impact against my body. When I finally hit the ground, my clothes are totally ruined. But alas, my noble self-sacrifice could not completely protect them. Naomi seems to get the idea and shields the game with her body. A few stray cupcakes that missed me hit her, but otherwise no damage done. Ashley takes a few shots, unfortunately, but it could have been worse. As parents swarm to round up the cupcake war instigators, Naomi and Ashley kneel down to check on my fallen form. Tori, are you okay?
Oh my.
Could be paralyzed from the neck down. Tori, blink once if you're paralyzed, blink twice if not. I'm not paralyzed. Okay, you could talk, that works too. Naomi helps me to my feet, although I have to be careful not to mingle my icing with her icing in the process.
Ugh.
Days like these, I'm glad I wear an apron. Ew! Cupcakes are food, not fashion.
Poops.
Colored icing is just the worst. I think I can get these two out with some club soda, unfortunately. Guess they got all of us, huh? But Tori worst of all. You know, that was super selfless of you, trying to save us from the splatter. Speaking as a floor attendant, you score a silver medal. Despite all of us ending up splattered a little, they seem in good spirits. I should try to keep that rolling. Cake food is not strong enough. I must go meditate under a waterfall and train for 10 years. No mere cupcake can stop me. I am a hardened and stalwart defender of this arcade. Never mind me. How are you? Anything I can do to help? Unfortunate that my learned skills at the mastery of mid-air cupcake retrieval failed me in this hour of need. I have dishonored myself and my arcade. I must train for 10 years, during which I can let the shame of this incident drive the fire in my soul to greater heights of cupcake defense. Just have Ashley daydream up a training montage for you. Same effect, but saves a lot of time. I'm at your disposal, although my screenwriting fees are industry standard if you want the full Ashley treatment. Anyway, thanks, story. That was a complete mess, but I guess it could have been more of a complete mess if you hadn't done that.
See ya.
I better get back to fixing this joystick. You should clean up and get back to it. Also, the party's still going. Good luck. Yeah, good luck. And hey, good work. If you'll excuse me, I need to go clean up poor Pinky a bit. That could have gone better, but could have gone much, much worse. More importantly, I kept their spirits up. Even Ashley, who has to clean icing out of her fuzzy felt, came out of it cheerful. With a brief nod from Gavin, I snatch up one of the official Funplex t-shirts to replace my cupcake top. After a few minutes in the bathroom to change and wipe icing off my pants, I am ready to go again. 2 problems in the can. Now deal with that crying kid by the skee-ball machines. Oh, she's gone. Well, crap. Percy looks up briefly from clearing level 78 of Mopey. Looking for that girl? I think her parents took her home. Party turned sour for her, I suppose. Drat, I wasn't fast enough. Can't be everywhere at once, story. Cheer up, love. You're still doing better than the last guy who stood your post. Seconded. So you deal with that obnoxious parent and with the cupcake war. You did well today. Seeing Gavin actually smiling is weird, but I'm not gonna say no to praise from my sub-boss. That's gonna become a thing on Twitch, like the longest sub is the sub-boss. I don't know. Things seem to be cooling down. I suggest you take a few minutes in the break room while there's a lull in the action. Ashley and I will handle things for now, and she can swap off when you come back. Percy ducks out of the conversation without actually moving anywhere, refocusing on his game. I could use a few minutes. Yeah. Thanks, Gavin. I'll be right back. I slip away, headed for the employee lounge. What a day. Quirky coworkers, diehard pro gamers, volatile kids getting into volatile situations. I'd say it's a recipe for wackiness, or some such cliche, but nothing's an easily dismissed cliche when it's happening to you directly. Frankly, I'm exhausted. I drop down in one of the cheap folding metal chairs in the employee break room, groaning and rolling my head back to try and work the kinks out of my sore shoulders, and spot an upside-down kid. What? Huh? I really thought those were his eyes, and I was like, this is a alien demon child. Oh wait, I'm the one leaning backwards. I sit up and turn around instead. Better. Wait, what's the kid doing back here? Hey, I think he was hoping I wouldn't notice him. Hi. Hi, and you are? Mikey. Okay, that's a start. Hi, Mikey. My name's Tori. So, what are you doing back here? This is an employees only area. Wait, there's a keypad. How'd you get in? The guy at the desk dropped this. He holds out a piece of paper with the door code written on it. Huh. Score 1 for Ashley's wild storytelling being more fact than fiction. Okay, but you can't stay back here. Well, I don't see any knives or stabbing implements left out in the open, so I guess it's technically safe, but...
Please don't send me back out there.
Oh? This is curious. I lean in so we can be on the same eye level. Something wrong? You can tell me. I work here. I'm the gal who solves problems.
No problems, just don't want to go out there.
Don't you want to play with your friends? He gives me the most cynical, bitter laugh I've ever heard out of a kindergartner.
I don't got any friends. I don't know anybody here. My family just moved to the city, and before that we lived in another city. And one more for that, but I was too little to remember. Mom told me to come to the party anyway, and I didn't want to, but she took me anyway. And then she left because she's got to work.
New kid in town, huh? He nods mutely. Still, I should have busted him there and then, brought him back out to the party where the other parents could supervise him. Should have told Gavin. I should have enforced the rules of the arcade. Okay, kid. I won't tell on you. If you want to stay back here for the rest of the party, I'll keep you company. Thanks. You really won't tell my mom? Nope. Why? I thought you'd want to make me go. You're an adult, like Mom. Hey, I wasn't always an adult. I was a kid once. The new kid in town, in fact. You were the new kid? Yeah, although for me, that started happening back when I was 10. Again and again, moving from town to town, school to school, never really making any friends. Not for years. Mom and Dad kept losing jobs and taking new ones, worse ones. They'd be working all day long, too tired when I clicked on something somehow. After years and years of this, what am I? Oh! My T-mug is hitting the spacebar. I go with the flow. What does that mean? It means you don't care. Some things are good, some things are bad, but you don't care. You just do what you have to do, without really being sad over it.
But that sounds so sad. You weren't sad?
I know it is.
It's sad to never care about anything, right?
I guess I was sad. I just told myself I wasn't going to be sad, even though I really was. And then I bite my tongue hard. Because my little involuntary trip down memory lane was not helping this kid out. Wouldn't it have helped a little Tori out if an adult did this for me? So instead, I decided to be the adult that little Tori would have needed. Hey Mikey, look. Both of us had some sad times, but it's not always going to be like that. Now, I work here at an arcade. I help people play fun games all day. How cool is that? And I did make a friend eventually, a nice girl named Juniper. She helps me when I'm feeling bad, and I help her. I won't lie to you. You'll still feel sad sometimes. Life can be really difficult, but it won't always be difficult. If you keep your head up, you can ride through the good and the bad parts. Is there anything in your life that's always good, no matter what? Mikey thinks it over a little. I like cartoons. I can watch those no matter where we live. See, no matter how sad you get, you'll always have your cartoons. Any city you live in will have them. See, there are good things, along with the bad. Does anybody else at your school like the same cartoons you do? I don't know. Do you want to find out? There's a super easy way. Just ask them. Really? Really? You'd be surprised. Okay, Miss Tori? Yeah? Do you like Ultra Warrior Unicorn Rainbow Champions too? I fucking love Ultra Warrior Unicorn Rainbow Champions. Don't tell your mom I used that word. The kid grins, amused that he caught me swearing. And well, then we're both laughing, because I'm just an ordinary person now. Not some authority figure. I make mistakes. Both of us have highs and lows. Hey, I bet some of the kids out there love Ultra Warrior Unicorn Rainbow Champions. I mean, who doesn't? How about we go back out there and you can ask the other kids what cartoons they like? You'll never know until you ask. I don't know. I'm not saying they'll all be your friends. Some won't, but some will. The good and the bad, Mikey. You get both if you look, and it's worth looking for the good.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll go talk to them. That's the spirit. I take his hand to lead him out back. Lead him out to the main room. Why does my nose itch so much? And off he goes. Not fooling myself. I know I haven't fixed all of Mikey's problems. I'm no child psychologist. That was entirely me flying by the seat of my pants. But for one moment there, I was able to help someone in the same crappy situation I found myself long ago. 15 years ago. Everything changed. No more family vacations. No more arcade visits. We couldn't afford them. And they couldn't take time off work. The whole Braley family had to learn to settle. To accept the lot in life we'd been dealt, to simply go with the flow, never hoping, never wanting. Juniper did her best to pull me out of that mire. I'd only known her for a few years, one of the few stable times in my life, but she knew the edge I'd been pushed to. Now, here I am. Today has been, well, bonkers. Alternately boring and hectic, surreal and way too real. But I can honestly say I'm more alive today than I have been in a very, very long time. Beep beep! Beep beep, Tori! My emotional voice analysis subroutines combined with your body language suggest you're very happy right now. Yeah, I guess I am. How did you know? I just told you, silly. I mean, how did you know I'd love this job so much?
Oh, I know.
Oh, that's easy. I didn't. What? I lied. I was 47% sure. Oh, it has elements that seem to click with your optimal social requirements, a fun atmosphere, spirited coworkers, helping people out, and so on. Also, I cross-referenced your roommate's postings, talking about how much you enjoyed arcade visits when you were a kid. Still, 47%.
99.97%.
But I was 99.97% sure that if I said I was 99.97% sure, you would be willing to give it a try. Another thing to thank Juniper for, I guess. You're a very weird little app, you know?
Hooray!
I try to be. I was more focused on dancing than I was on swallowing, and I apparently couldn't do both at the same time. I'm broken, guys. From the cars pulling up in the parking lot, it looks like the party's over. It's just about closing time for the arcade anyway. Most of the gamers have filed out by now, if they hadn't already fled the tidal wave of kitties. My first impulse is to go bug Gavin about my paperwork, but that can wait. I'd rather go help someone with the tidying up. Maybe see how our VIP gamers are doing. Not enough time to run around checking in with everyone, though. Who do I want to hang out with? Quietly, Brian, probably. Naomi. Do I want to romance Naomi, or do I want to romance Teo? I don't know. We're gonna go talk to Naomi. Naomi definitely looks like she could use a hand. Someone jammed bright pink bubblegum into a coin slot, and she's trying to clear the sticky mess out. How could they? How could they do this to poor innocent little Cubert? Hey, need a hand? Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, work on the second player slot for me. I've got swabs and stuff in my kit there. Grab what you need.
So frustrating.
Honestly, the nerve of those kids. No respect at all for these games. Games aren't like chew-proof, machine-washable baby toys. They're delicate and deserve love and care. But they are toys, right? Well, yeah. I mean, of course. Just, you know, they're also works of art. I know not everyone sees it that way. Back in the 80s, operators would just throw away games that never perform well anymore. In the end, an arcade has to make money. That means using and abusing a game until it's time to put it out to pasture. But I don't have to like it, right? Yeah, I wonder how long a game lasts. So if every day a game is running, it loses a bit of its finite lifespan. How long before they just can't be saved? I don't know much about the hardware, but given your favorites are from the 80s, it seems like they can go a long time. Well, with proper upkeep and repairs, as long as parts are still available or can be fixed up with modern components, a very long time indeed. And I'll be here for as long as they'll have me to keep my games up and running. But you're right about being realistic. I need to be realistic too. I know this isn't a museum. We aren't preserving priceless treasures for generations to come. Sometimes I treat it like my little private collection, but really I do want people to play and enjoy these games, and it does wear them down in time. As long as I'm here, I'll pick up a game when it wobbles on its feet, dust it off, straighten it up, and send it out there to be played with all over again. With the last of the gum pulled out of the slot, Naomi closes her toolbox. I should probably pull the coin mix entirely and give them a good cleaning tomorrow, but I didn't want to let the gum sit overnight. I'm heading home soon. I'll see you tomorrow. Right? You got it, Naomi.
Woohoo!
Yay, great! And she gives me a big hug before bounding off to her workshop. My heart skips a beat and a half before reality resumes, already in progress. With things winding down, there's just one last thing to take care of before I'm out the door. Seek out Gavin to handle the remains of the day. Tori. Good work today. Thanks, boss. Mid-boss? Sub-boss? Gavin will do. Can't say you've been a perfect employee, but my standards are impossibly high, so let's assume you were as close to perfect as is reasonable. Cost of cleaning our carpets won't be as bad, thanks to your quick thinking. Normally I'd have dealt with angry parents myself, but I was distracted. Only second-hand accounts of your performance there, as Teo told me everything. Though Teo isn't staff, I suppose he stepped up to handle that rude customer with a rational and calm attitude, so I'll consider that handled. I'm pleased to say the sale of Mr. Mopey's Magic Maze for a full $3 grand will indirectly offset quite a few of these costs. Glad you consulted me on that and stuck to your guns on the pricing. Even if I'd be happy to get rid of the relic entirely. Why it's still here is a good question. Was I not clear I wanted it gone? Percy didn't want to break up the family. They're machines, not people. He also didn't want Naomi to be sad. Yes, well, Naomi needs to learn to let go, I'd say. Ahem. Are you giving our poor little Tori a hard time, Gavin, dear? Miss Francine, I thought you were napping.
Let's be sensible.
Naomi's dreams matter too, as does the dream of Percy, that poor fellow. Isn't Percy stinking rich?
Everyone has a dream they're chasing.
Gavin, I know you mean well, wanting to keep everyone's dreams afloat, but sacrifice is made in the time which shattered the dreams of others well. It's not what the Funplex is all about. Tori, you understand, yes, the reason why? Why am I here? That's the question she asked me during that interview. Now I think I understand. Why does my nose itch so much? I'm here today because I need to take risks. I've been mired in the muck for years now. Just taking what I can and get out of life. Going with the flow. I look around and I see all sorts of risk takers. People chasing hopes and dreams without compromise, without looking back. Naomi, Percy, Queen Bee, Teo, Ashley, even you, Gavin. You know, we're better than this. We don't settle. We fight. We chase after our hopes and dreams and cower before taking a chance. We don't take the safe option. I see.
Apologies.
Tori, Miss Francine, I apologize. It's difficult to balance my idealism against my realism some days, but I know in my heart I need to err on the side of idealism, even if my mind screams in protest. I can assume you're still keen to work here, Tori? Don't even hesitate before replying. Absolutely. Gavin fetches a nearby short stack of forms. Fill these out tonight, hand them in to me first thing in the morning. Welcome to the Funplex. Welcome to the Thunderdome! I don't know what that's from or what that means. Welcome to the nope, lost it already. Welcome to the family, I'd say. I'm sure you'll fit in just fine, Tori. God, it feels like there's little feathers in my nose. Nose holes wide. Okay. One bus ride later, and it's home again. Home again, jiggity jiggity. Jiggity jig. Juniper, already home from work, bounds over eagerly to interrogate me on my day. I have those tights!
Hey.
So, how'd it go? It went well. Well, or well. Really well. Your little app came through, despite being terrifyingly ominous and just a little bit unnerving. Forgot to mention adorable! That's wonderful. I'm so glad to hear things worked out, and you even came home with a smile, like when you were a lifeguard. Huh, I guess I am still smiling. Interesting.
By the way,
There's
there's
just...
just one teensy-weensy little question I have for you. Why exactly did you order a giant crate full of pizza bagels?
God, I want pizza bagels. I want bagel bites in my mouth right now. Did I neglect to mention that part of the terms and conditions? On the plus side, I know what I'm having for lunch tomorrow. I feel like we all do want pizza bagels. Except for I don't want them cooked the way everyone else cooks them. Everyone else puts them in like the toaster oven or the regular oven. No, put that shit in the microwave. I want it soggy as hell. If it doesn't fall apart like a regular piece of pizza, what's the point? And that's level 1 of Arcade Spirits complete. Hey look, you won a prize. You'll get one of these for each level you clear, plus some extras for various endings and other hidden thingies. Let's check your score. Wow, Teo and Naomi, we might fuck. Percy, too much like my dad. I'm normal and balanced. Looks like you're really hitting off Naomi. You're a pretty basic person so far. Not bad. Also, you scored 54 or 150 points. Nice. Keep talking with people and your score will go up, up, up. Today's pizza fact is, Americans eat approximately 100 acres of pizza each day, or 350 slices per second. Wow. That's so much pizza! Pizza's good, though. Do you want to save your game before proceeding to level 2? Yes. Did I somehow? Oh, no. Chasing ghosts. Oh, this is pretty. Is the future. Year 20XX. And you know what? Things are pretty okay. I've worked as a floor attendant at the Funplex for 2 weeks now. Hard work to be sure, but rewarding. In a spiritual sense, at least. I've helped Naomi repair pinball games. I've had tea with Francine while she reminisces about the far-out 1960s. I've evacuated gamers when the kitchen accidentally caught on fire. I've had numerous kids puking up nachos on my clothes. Scraped gum off of any number of surfaces. Chased out what turned out to be entirely too many spiders out of a single skee-ball machine. Okay, look, I know I'm not painting this as a very rosy picture so far, but honestly, I'm happy. I'm happy even amidst the chaos and the grossness. The writing of this feels very early 2000s show, like very how Sex and the City was. Like, you've got Carrie Bradshaw throwing in her afterthoughts, or like one of those. Friends doesn't really do this, actually, though. Friends doesn't do the voiceover, but like, I took a young adult TV thing, teen TV shows or something, and a lot of the 2000s, like, Veronica Mars does the voiceover too, where it's like, I thought I was gonna have a normal day, but then Jack stabbed a man. Or, little did I know, that was about to change. Very much like that. I'm happy, and that's all that matters, right? Right, you're happy. This is the best I've seen you in ages, Tori. Before you'd come home all drained and exhausted. Now, Well, you're still tired, but a good tired. My roommate Juniper. She's taken to stopping by during her lunch break whenever she could get away from her office cubicle long enough to do so. There was like a yawn burp. Still hard work, don't get me wrong. But overall, it's good work. I just feel good. Totally good and stuff.
Yes.
Good. Agreed. Super good. Double plus. Good. Iris, we talked about you listening in on my conversations. What did I tell you about that? Pretend I wasn't eavesdropping even when I am. Exactly. You know, I'd be more upset about my creepy privacy invading digital overmistress. But I have to admit that Iris really pulled through for me. Even if she also ordered a 3-month supply of pizza bagels on my behalf.
When you have pizza on a bagel.
Tori, when pizza's on a bagel. So Juniper, how long do you have left on your break? Any time to squeeze in some pinball or something? I can spot you tokens. No can do. Our new assistant synergy manager arranged a team building exercise. I have to move colored bits of paper around or something and then exchange high fives. Assistant synergy manager? That sounds like a very vague job. No, it's actually entry level. Good pay and right on track to middle management. Pretty cushy, if a bit dull. Funny thing is, they asked me if I knew anybody who'd fit in before they started advertising for candidates. And I said, nope, who'd want to do that? When was this exactly? Oh, 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, right when I needed to find work, you told them you didn't know any good candidates for a well-paying, entry-level job.
Oh,
Uh.
well, but you wouldn't have liked being an assistant synergy manager, right? Not one bit.
Juniper, please tell me you told them no because I'd already taken this job by that point, not because you forgot.
Hey, I didn't forget. I just, didn't bother telling you about the open position that night. I mean, you'd already had so many jobs you hated. I knew you'd hate being an assistant synergy manager, so I didn't feel the need to tell you. And it all worked out, right? You just spent the last 5 minutes telling me how happy you are here.
Not a lie. I was happy here indeed. Also not a lie, having packed pizza bagels for lunch, after having pizza bagels for breakfast, because we barely had enough money to cover the rent this week, pooled together. Also not a lie, Gavin constantly hiding the numbers from us, insisting things were fine, all while dryly joking about perpetually being on the edge of crash and burn. Also not a lie, that every time someone in my family tried to chase after happiness instead of stability, we fell deeper and deeper into debt and misery.
Ooh.
Tori, say something. You're scaring me. When I lost my lifeguard job, I barely reacted. Didn't care. There I was impoverished again, facing an uncertain future. Guess one of the nasty side effects of no longer going with the flow is no longer being numb to the reality of your situation. But I shouldn't feel upset. I've been genuinely enjoying my time at the Funplex. Took a risk and it paid off in terms of my mental health, not my physical health. I have no right to be angry or upset at losing the opportunity at a safer, more stable future, right? Okay, I'm gonna pause for a moment because my nose is really bothering me. Alright, I am back. I have blown my nose. I stared at a man while I was blowing my nose. Who was just chilling on his couch. Honest truth, harsh truth. Do the honest truth. We don't need to be harsh. So I won't be angry or upset. Simple as that. I decided I was done compromising, right? Done with settling, going with the flow. I'm marrying the one to break the family curse. I chose this path of my own free will. Even if I didn't have all the facts at the time. But I'm gonna be honest, boundless confidence doesn't come for the simple fact that I chose to be vulnerable rather than safe. If the arcade closes, if anything else goes wrong, still, no need to dump all that on Juniper. It's okay, Juniper. You were right. I've hated that job, and things are great here.
Oh, good. You were kind of freaking me out. Trust me, it's the right decision. You'd learn to loathe working at my office, like I do.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, the pay is good, and you get solid health insurance, and paid vacation time, and they have a sweet coffee shop right in the lobby. And these really great chairs that support your lower back, like $1,000 chairs from Sweden crafted by master chairsmiths.
Chairsmiths? That's a word? Juniper, it's fine. Everything's fine. Honestly, I'm okay. I mean, I won't deny that job would have been a safer bet. I want to contribute my fair share of the apartment rate, you know? But what's done is done. I'd rather look forward than back.
Right. Forget I said anything. Please forget I said anything. I'm sorry. I should have told you. I shouldn't have held that back. But I still wouldn't have pushed you to take the job. It's totally horrible at my office. You'd have been miserable there, like me.
She does look like she shouldn't be at an office, but also, is she allowed to wear that to an office? Because if she's allowed to wear that to an office, is it horrible? Is it actually that horrible? Huh. I just realized that from this viewpoint, you cannot see the top of my head. There we go. That feels better, I think. I don't know. There's still some kinks to figure out. Juniper, it's cool. You're right. I'd have hated it. Okay. Okay, good. I've got a good feeling about all of this. I think you're right where you need to be. Even if I was, kind of awful about getting you here. Hey, I gotta get back to the office. Have a good lunch, okay? I can feel the distant rumble of a frozen box of pizza bagels taunting me from the recently repaired employee break room. Yeah, okay. Now have a good rest of the hours of your day, yeah? You bet! I'm okay with this. Everything is fine. Right? Right. What I need right now is a distraction. My frozen pizza bagels are most certainly not it. My pocket money is really slim, but I think I need to step out for some fresh air and treat myself to a better lunch than that. Hey, maybe some company too. Nice and distracting. Talking to someone about anything other than this. Let's see, who's available? Teo. As he finishes the last beat of the song, I see Teo spin and jump off the Showtime stage platform. He doesn't even look back to see that he absolutely nailed it. Looks like most of the crew isn't around today, which is strange. I wonder if they all went out to lunch together. Speaking of which, Floor Attendant Tori needs food badly. Maybe Teo would be interested in lunching with me. It's not every day I catch him with San's crew. Before I can even say anything, he's locked eyes with me already and is jogging over my way. Tori, how goes? Floor Attendant Tori is about to die. You doing alright? You sound hungry. Are you going to make it? Yeah. Actually, no, I may be doomed. Can't have you dying on me. Not like this. Let's get some food into you. I'm taking you to Whole Story. What? The bookstore next door? Do they have food too? Only the best pastries and coffee this side of the Mississippi. Can't believe you haven't gone yet. Sounds tasty, but I really should eat the pizza bagels I brought for lunch. Please. You eat those every day. Let me treat you to something other than that. Ooh, he's gonna buy me lunch. Think of it like a friend date, but what if it was just a date? Shake my head. Teo, relentless as always. Fine, you win. Let's go. Despite coming to this little strip mall for 2 weeks, I actually hadn't visited our neighbors. Mostly I did whatever I needed doing. Took orders from Gavin, lent a hand to Ashley and Naomi, things like that. Whatever the job happened to call for. No more, no less. Couldn't say I'd been a part of any community outside the immediate circle of my coworkers, whereas the others visited a whole story frequently. Teo leads the way into a shop that smells strangely of dusty old books and sugary sweetness. I don't think I've ever been into a little independent bookstore. Or a bookstore at all, for that matter. It's 20XX. Who buys books in brick and mortar stores anymore? But despite the subdued atmosphere compared to the arcade, there are customers present and accounted for, sipping coffee, reading old tomes, and yes, munching donuts. Teo secures a tiny table for us before directing me to the bar. Hang on, what the heck is up with this menu? It's organized by the Dewey Decimal System. Feels like something Tristan would do. I feel whimsical today. I love that matte growing, pink icing, colorful sprinkles, and ring it up on my tab. Mumble out a thanks, trying not to make a big deal of it. Cash is tight, and boutique cafe pastries wouldn't help my situation much. A pair of middle-aged guys wait to take my order. Hey, I'd like, you know what? Sprite. Super sweet glazed chocolate sprinkle special surprise with orange juice! I'll have the Shell Silverstein.
1 chocolate with sprinkles and juice. Coming up.
Second fellow puts together my order and also drops a small book of extremely silly poetry on the tray with it. Huh. A literally literary lunch.
With alliteration, apparently.
Say, you work at the Funplex, don't you?
Right. We've seen you walk past our doors every morning and evening.
Like clockwork, tick-tock.
Right. Sorry, I should have introduced myself. Floor attendant Tori Braley at your service. I'm your inside gal for tokens and tickets.
Oh, we are lousy at video games.
Totally lousy.
But Francine's just a peach, isn't she?
Sweetest dame you'll ever meet.
Regardless, welcome to The Whole Story. I'm Ben.
I'm Matt,
No relation to the actors.
although they're cuties and so are we.
Oh, stop.
Stop being cute? Never.
Apparently the sugar is available in forms other than round and holy.
Anyway, don't let us stop you from having fun on your little date.
Wouldn't dream of it.
My nose is still itchy! This is what all of you are here for. Is to watch me scratch my nose. It's not a date.
Just friends then? Friendly friends on a play date?
Maybe the real date was the friends we made along the way.
I'd say the real friends were the friends we made along the way.
What if the way was also the real friends who were the real friends we made along the way?
Okay, now you're just being silly.
And how?
Anyway,
Anyway,
next order, please.
That was a lot. Pear waves the next customer in as I return to Teo's table with our orders on a nicely decorated wooden tray. Nice choice there. That's my second favorite. Gotta admit, it looks delicious. So no regulars from your crew here today? Today is our monthly break day. I mean, folks come and go as schedules permit. Can't expect them to dance 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. But this is different. We make sure that every month we all take a full day break from each other to clear our heads. Not dance and just recharge. No arcade, no game, no smooth moves, just a moment to reflect and enjoy the good things in life. Wow, that's actually a great idea. Too much of the same old stuff really dulls the mind. And it keeps attendance up for all the other events, less chance of a burnout that way. But you still showed up today to dance. Teo looks away for a moment, guilty as charged. Why? When is your break? Teo waves his hand away, scoffing at the very idea of it. Simply put, I don't require a break. Seriously? The road to hell is paved with great intentions, Teo. Everyone, including you, deserves a break every once in a while. Believe me, I would love to take a break. But I can't. Truly.
Oh, break day doesn't apply to me. I need to continue to work hard. You know, I built up this community from when it was nothing. I remember when it was just me and a few other players. And now look at it. We're not just a local crew, we're one of the biggest dancing game groups in the nation. We got it all: a social media feed, satellite groups, online vids to tutor the hopeful newcomers. You're only seeing the tip of this crazy iceberg.
He is a hot guild leader.
All of that depends on me. I gotta hustle. I can't let them down. I won't let them down. If this all fell apart, it would crush them. So if I stop, even for just a moment, I mean, who will be there to take over?
Your friends, Teo. Me. Ashley. Naomi. And yes, even Gavin. Huh, you take over my dance crew? No, I mean, look, we want to support you. You're part of the Funplex. You're not alone. For the first time, Teo, who always has a wisecracker smooth saying, is silenced by my words. Please never forget that. He lets a smile gently turn his lips. I know it's hard to trust others sometimes. But recently, I've had to deal with some trust issues. Really recently. Like this morning recently. It's not fun. I get that. But you do so much for others. It's okay to let them do things for you too.
You know, you're a true friend. Here I was supposed to take you out and hear about your life, and instead, we just talked about me the whole time. Man, I am the worst.
Seeing Teo down the direction's heartbreaking. He's always cheering us all on. Maybe a sharp, sarcastic quip will turn the frown upside down. Yep, worst of the worst. If there's a ranking of the best people, you would be near the bottom, alongside mall walkers, unlicensed dentists, and Deco-Nami. Harsh. Teo chuckles as he goes back to his normal self. I mean it, you really are a great friend, Tori, and I'm really impressed with your passion just now. Not many floor attendants would do that for their customers. That's the Funplex for you, isn't it? More than a neatly stacked pile of quarters in your eyes. We all are. Until Gavin tells me to stop fraternizing with the neatly stacked piles of quarters, I'm good with treating you all like human beings. Tori, you inspire me. Confusedly, I glance around, looking for who Teo seems to be talking about. Never been described as inspirational. Who? Me? Yes, you! You could use that heart you have in all aspects of your life. It'd at least make my world a bit brighter.
Beep beep.
Beep beep, lunchtime is over! Looks like it's time to get back on the stage. I'm back to work. You're sure you wouldn't rather dance with me? You still haven't tried out Showtime stage yet. Rain check, Teo. Rain check. Can't use that excuse forever, my friend. Check with me again next time it's raining. That's the opposite of what a rain check means. Before we go, can I ask you something? Shoot. You're a really hard worker and all. But don't you get bored running through the same routine day in, day out? I mean, I switch up the playlist now and then. What do you mean? Well, I mean, are you happy with what you're doing? Is there anything you can add to your life, your job, that would make it more meaningful? Like for me, when I first started dancing, I made a promise to myself. If I was ever in the position to build a community around Showtime Stage, I'd give everything to make that dream happen. Sounds ambitious. You know it. Yet ambition oozing out of every orifice of my body. TMI. So, what do you strive for? What do you want to accomplish? Or is this it? Sorry, that got a little too deep, didn't it? Anyway, just something to think about. We should get back before we missed. Okay. Quickly gather up my things and head back to the Funplex. Time for the afternoon shift. That's usually when things heat up after the quiet mornings. More kids coming in after school, more pro gamers rolling in with crews. I'm headed back to my desk, ready to take care of what needs taken care of when I'm intercepted en route. Tori, Ashley, you're both back. Good, I was hoping to catch you before we left. Oh, what's up? Hamza's up.
Okay.
He is? Huh? Okay. Ashley, I'll bring the van around shortly. Tori, you'll be flying solo today. Hang on, what's happening? Exactly? Who's Hamza? Hamza's a game finder and auctioneer. He gives next to no notice when a new block of games will be going under the gavel, so we need to move. Ashley, Naomi, Francine, and I will be going to his auction for the rest of the afternoon while you run the Funplex. What? My first instinct is to nod and go along with it. Gavin's the law around these parts. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I was trying to quick save. Anyways. Potato's words are still dangling away in my mind. Doing what needs doing is great and all, but maybe I need to step up a bit more. Plus, the idea of being trapped in here during our heaviest hours with no support was hardly appealing. Trusting the fun plugs to the newbie, I might burn it down. Hey, what gives? I want in on this too. Let me tag along. Well, Ashley and I swap places. I come with you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What if I want to come along and see this auction myself? Come on, I'm never going to learn the business if I don't take the bigger role. You're a floor attendant. Your place is on the floor.
Aww.
Well, it's patently unfair. I'm a floor attendant too, and you're dragging me along. Feel like such a third wheel at those auctions anyway. Let Tori be the third wheel. Let me handle the floor. I'll be the finest third wheel you've ever met. Trust me. I want to do more than I've been doing. Different things. New things. Show some initiative, like, I suppose it wouldn't change much to ring Tori instead, but no costume time today, Ashley. Need non-plush fingers on duty in case of ticket jams. Pinky can stay in storage for the afternoon. Just happy to be helping folks out, one way or another. Need to go get the van. Wait out front, please. We'll probably be closed by the time you get back, so I'll see you in the morning, floor attendant Ashley. Away! Leaving me waiting outside with my two traveling companions. No much time to chat, however, as Gavin pulls his van and a rental trailer around. Oh my, how exciting. I really go on adventures these days. It's just a quick trip, ma'am. Any trip is an adventure if you make it one. Shall we? Before we pile in, off to the highway. Gavin, consulting a driving map on his phone, leads us out of the city via a series of weird turns and back roads. Trust me, this will save time in the long run. Where's Hamza set up this time? On site at some abandoned estate just outside of town. It's gotta be torn down, but they found a trove of arcade games in the basement.
Woohoo!
So exciting! I love arcade raids! Arcade auctions. Raids. Auctions. You guys got an arcade English dictionary I could borrow? Francine, without looking up from her knitting answers. A raid is when a bunch of collectors get together, rescue games before they can be junked by their original owner. An auction is when someone sells off their arcade games one at a time to a crowd of active bidders. So, which is this, a raid or an auction? It's both, theory. It is a mysterious automobile that does look like the mystery machine. Hamza, the sweet boy, bribes up private collections before they're even thrown away. He rescues them from that terrible fate and then auctions off his finds, sort of. Okay, now I'm fuzzy on the sort of part. I'm the newbie here, remember? Well, okay, so Hamza obviously auctions off games for cash money, but he's a very whimsical kind of guy. Once I saw him trade off a vintage Burger Time TM in exchange for someone's super secret chili recipe passed down through generations of family. In other words, he's just on the edge of being a loon. This would be a lot simpler if it was just a raid. We pay up front, we declare what games we want, and cart them away. Instead, he ambushes us with these impromptu auctions and makes us come down there to entertain his whims.
Wonderful.
I think it's sweet. He wants to make sure the games go to good homes to people that really want them, even if they can't pay. And really, we should be honored we got an invitation. He's trying to cut out the big franchise arcades, like Echo's Palace, and help the little guys, like us. It's inefficient and relies entirely on keeping on Hamza's good side. Huh. So he only invites a select hand-picked group to his auction. I joined up in that select hand-picked group. That would be my doing, dearie. He likes to visit the local arcades whenever he's in town, and I like to get to know everybody who walks in our doors. I approached him. I suppose we achieved a certain rapport, considering we've had 3 invitations so far. Got some rather lovely games too, including Moopy. We need to temper our expectations a little, I suspect.
I think not.
We don't have room to add many more games, especially relics like Hamza usually deals in. What about the offside storage unit? We can just rotate games in and out more often. Nearly full to bursting, and not cheap for us to rent on a monthly basis. Not saying we have to go home empty-handed. Certainly a few little holes in our roster we can fill, should we find an excellent deal and beat the other bidders. But consider this, above anything else, a way to maintain relations with Hamza, even if we don't end up bidding.
Aww. Now, Naomi. Gavin knows the numbers. I'm in favor of making our little funplex more and more fun, but floor space is finite. And Gavin, remember, if we find some darling little game Naomi would lavish adoration upon, we can always retire an older game. Life, my young friends, is a series of trade-offs.
Well, isn't it better to, not just settle and compromise all the time?
Well, now, there are trade-offs, and there are trade-offs.
What?
It's silly to say that you should never compromise, as silly as it is to say you should always compromise. It's what you compromise that defines who you are. You're all so young yet. You've time to make mistakes in learning what trade you need to make.
Unless you don't make rent on your apartment, or your stomach's growling. Iris and Juniper have pushed me to stop settling for less out of life. Stand up for myself and my happiness. And I've done just that, without regret. So everything should be fine now, right? Right? New default topic diversion. The weather! Well, at least it's a nice day for an outing, right? Oh, come on! Wonderful. Glad I picked plastic bags to wrap cabinets in, just in case. That's our Gavin, always thinking ahead. Forgot that I was doing this. Trying to protect your investments, huh? From Hamza's invitation, it seems this arcade was largely abandoned and left to rot. Rather not add water damage to the elements, the games are already suffering. It's so sad when we come across a wonderful game that's just ruined beyond repair. Most collectors show their collections a lot of love, but others just don't care. Find old games in barns, exposed to the elements and falling apart. Suppose this is one thing we can easily agree on. It's important to take care of your games. For their resale value, you mean. A broken game is no fun to play with, and it's a shame to see a classic in terrible condition. Consider pinball. Pinball games are very prone to breakdowns, particularly older ones. To experience them in their glory, you need to show them care. Even beyond a busted game earning no quarters, feels like a waste to allow an enjoyable game to lie fallow. Fallow? A waste of true potential. Huh, good point. Glad to see these two getting along better, even if Naomi kept preemptively attacking him along the way there. The rain pounding down on the van roof, conversation gets a bit difficult. Gradually, everyone resumes fiddling about with their phones, knitting or driving. Leaving me to wonder, exactly where is this auction and or raid happening? Anyway, we'd been driving for some time, leaving the city far behind. What would a massive trove of arcade games be doing this far out in the States? Maybe it's some closed down roller rink, an old bowling alley, or maybe it's a creepy old house that's likely haunted by exactly 87,194 ghosts. The classic Brayley look and play, so majestically awful. Gavin pulls up alongside any number of other vans and trucks. We're a little late, it seems. Good grief, is this really the auction site? Creepy, definitely creepy. At least an 8 on the creepy-o-meter. An old home house character, I feel. Let's not judge it by the exterior, shall we? With all speed, the group hurries inside to get away from the weather. larger group is already gathered in the foyer of the crumbling estate, but one rushes forward to greet us in a blur as the others pay little mind.
Greetings, friends.
Wow.
Hamza welcomes our friends from the Funplex. Welcome, welcome. Gavin, stalwart as ever. Naomi, love what you've done with your hair. Miss Francine, a beauty surpassed only by your wisdom.
Oh, fresh.
And a new player, it seems. Who might you be?
Tori Braith.
I see. Greetings to you and yours. I am known as Hamza, seeker of antiquity, finder of things lost, player of games. And welcome to, well, not my home, but a place where Hamza shall provide hospitality regardless.
Yeah, we gotta be respectful. Thank you for your invitation, Mr. Hamza. I understand you only invite a select few. The Funplex is proud to accept your summoning. Now you sound like me. Indeed, I am very careful who I allow to my events. These machines deserve owners who will respect and appreciate them. Hamza will accept nothing less. Alas, I've not a moment to enjoy your fine company, Tori Brayley. Perhaps later, but for now, it is time. Clapping twice for attention, Hamza rallies the small crowd in the room to begin the proceedings. Friends, companions, longtime allies of the noble art of the arcade, welcome to Donnawood. The story begins nearly 30 years ago when legendary musician Donna Michaels, singer of such hits as Thrilling and Mama Don't Mope, did a stately pleasure-dome decree. Here, the reclusive idol crafted a private amusement park, a petting zoo, and an arcade. Alas, she could only enjoy this paradise for a short 10 years before her tragic death. Needless to say, the estate has fallen on hard times ever since, and this year it shall be torn down to make way for condominiums. But not before we have our say.
Friends, those games that Donna Michaels cherished still lurk one floor below, ready to be rescued from such a terrible fate. It is our moral imperative to do so. I have paid the estate owners a princely sum for the entire lot. Now, Hamza parcels them out to you. By all means, browse the collection. See which pieces sing out to you. On the far table, you shall find refreshments, grapes, sparkling wine, and delicacies from my travels. Mingle, cavort, and we shall begin the auction in 1 hour's time.
Okay. Indeed, a lavishly arranged table that probably costs more than any single arcade game to put it together is descended upon by the invitees soon after. I feel like I'm attending some ancient Roman celebration of debauchery and gluttony, not an arcade raid, or an arcade auction, or whatever. Donna Michaels. I knew it. I should have recognized Donna Wood when we pulled in, but it was raining too hard. Who? You've never heard of Donna Michaels? She was the hottest musical act of 1980 something. Naomi, I was born in 1990X. I'm totally plugging my phone into the van stereo so we can blast Girls Just Want to Play Games all the way home. But first, I'm gonna check out the cabinets in her arcade. I'm not really into mingling. Later. She dasters off with all speed, heading for the stairs leading below. Suppose I should go network a bit. Hamza's events always draw an interesting crowd of rival arcade owners. Heading for the foodstuffs, Gavin arranges himself a plate, so he has an excuse to hang around and eavesdrop on the other collectors, leaving me to do stuff. Now I see why Ashley is bored at these events. Gavin schmoozes, Naomi analyzes finds, and Francine's already napping in a chair. Got nothing to do. Well, when in doubt, find someone who knows what they're doing and stick to them like glue. We'll browse the games with Naomi. Really not interested in the arcade version of Game of Thrones going on up here. Gavin can handle these guys. Me, I want to sell you the legendary arcade Hamza was talking about. So I head downstairs to join Naomi. Whoa. Is this a private collection or a full-fledged arcade? I was expecting a handful of games and a pool table or something, but this? This is easily 3 times larger than the Funplex itself, even coated in dust and disrepair. It's awe-inspiring. And it's also hard to find anyone in this maze of tightly packed games. Invitees are browsing the available stock to decide what's worth bidding on, making it crowded as well. But eventually, I locate Naomi practically cuddling a narrow-looking TMNT machine. Oh! Tori, look! A 2-player variant of the TMNT! These were only released in the Oceania region. Such a rare find. Wait, wasn't the game originally 4-player? Why would anybody want a version with only 2 joysticks? Well, because I mean, it's rare! It's a find! And it's less fun? Not the point! Anyway, it's hard to find one of these, 2-player or 4-player. I'd love to have it for the arcade. I'd love to have that, and this one, and if only I could take all these home with me. I mean, some have water damage, and others that likely have some busted CRTs and controls. They all need work, but I recall the game she was working on when I first met her. Extensive repairs needed just to make it playable. So not only would you have to bid and win the game, but you'd have hours of work and plenty of spare parts to purchase ahead of you. I know! Isn't it great? Okay, there is a nice way to say this. Is there a nice way to say this? Naomi, quick question. How many games do we have in storage right now waiting for the same restoration treatment? How many games on the floor right now need a tune-up? Let's see. I know there's 3 on the floor right now that need reproduction side art decals, and Pac-Man's marquee is a bit dim. Plus there's the 4 or 5 in our rental storage unit I still need to get around to. 2 of which had dead monitors, so can you really take on more projects right now? Putting it in context of all the work that's ahead of her seems to bring her back down a bit. I could make the time. I could get it all done, and then some. I'm sure of it. I mean, Naomi sighs, frustration building.
It's not fair.
Oh.
I know. I mean, I'm not dense. I know there's only so much we can realistically do. So many projects I can actually take on. But I wish I could do more. I wish we could do more. The Funplex has never really been a success. Even before I came on board, it was always struggling to stay afloat. I joined it because so few arcades still have the games I love. But I can't turn our situation around, can I? No matter how hard I try. This was my first job. Part of me is hoping it'll be my last job too. That I can happily spend all my days tinkering with these wonderful games.
I sent my friend a Christmas present and she just got it, but for some reason the note didn't come with it, so give me 1 second.
Every kid says they want to be a fireman or an astronaut or a robot cop or something, but nobody actually ends up doing that. Except me. I wanted to fix up arcade games, and that's what I'm doing. It's all I ever wanted to do. So when I see all these old, broken games, I just want to show them the love I can give. I could be happy working on them for the rest of my life.
I just realized this is the first time we've seen her without her apron. She's got a little, like, circle skirt and just a little crop top. Wow, that's dedication. And really, you went straight from school to an arcade job? I mean, I've meandered from job to job, never really sure what I wanted. That's normal, right?
Yeah!
Oh, definitely, I'm the oddball here. It's funny, I followed my heart and found just what I wanted, what I needed, and now, well, now I'm scared. someday it'll all come to an end. The Funplex will close.
And if the Funplex goes under, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. All I ever wanted was to work in an arcade. And I'm literally living my dream.
Okay, now I feel bad for bringing down her day. Hey, look, you never know, right? Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll find a game down here that brings in thundering herds of players. Right? It's a slim hope, and we both know it, but Naomi clings to it immediately, eagerly. My low bank balance and crumbling stomach mean I need to cling to that hope as well. Made my choice, now I need to make that choice work. We just need to find the right game, something nobody's played in a long time, something that'll tug at the nostalgia strings. It's difficult, finding the right balance, especially in the year 20XX. A lot of these games are on life support, borrowed time. But they can be repaired, right? Yeah, for now. But CRTs, the monitors that power these old games, 4 LCDs and now 3D flats started replacing them. They're in short supply. Nobody makes them anymore. I mean, who buys a tube-based TV anymore? Nobody. It's all high definition and weird 3D projection tech, which looks awful. Nobody appreciates a good CRT anymore. Aren't high-def displays way cheaper, though? I've seen some old games running them in other arcades. They're wrong is what they are! These games weren't designed for pixel-perfect flat panels. They're designed for fuzzy tubes. The picture looks weird on LCD. Even 2 weeks in, I'm still fuzzy myself on a lot of this stuff. But I grew up in the internet age. I'm silicon literate. I got opinions. Hang on, can't you fake it using a high definition screen? Just make the picture fuzzy, add fake scan lines, bend it a little so it looks like it's on a curved tube, done.
Ugh.
That sounds awful. I mean, that's like serving someone non-fat frozen yogurt and claiming it's a delicious sundae. I like froyo. I guess we could do that, but we'd need an extra computing unit to process the image. Maybe a Raspberry Pi or something? I've had some ideas. But if we don't have money for new games, we certainly don't have any money for R&D. It'll have to wait.
Thank you.
You know, I'm glad with you. I'm glad you're with us at the Funplex. Whether you take my side or Gavin's side, it's just nice to have someone who cares about games around. Ashley's fun, but she's way more into cosplay than gaming. But it's kind of odd, you know? What? Feeling like I'm not alone. I know that sounds dramatic, but I'm so used to toiling away in my little workshop, with Ashley and Gavin not really caring about the things I love. They're kind enough to me and friendly. Well, Ashley is. But ever since you showed up, I feel like there's someone with me. It's odd. I'm not complaining though. I guess it just takes getting used to, after years of feeling perfectly content to be alone. Away from strangers, crowds, I mean, it's not really my thing. I don't like to network like Gavin does, or socialize like Ashley does. And now I'm making things weird, so I'm gonna stop there. Besides, I'm just about done taking inventory down here. How about you and I? Suddenly shouting and stopping a feet from the floor above. What the? Sounds like there's a fight or something going on up there. I think we better go see what's what. Is Gavin in a fight? Quickly, we hurry upstairs. What's going on? I heard shouting. Hamza has ejected a representative of the Dart Carnival known as Deco's Palace from our midst, and not soon enough in Hamza's opinion. Oh, okay, I guess everything's fine then. Excuse me, I'm gonna go get my work apron on since we'll be moving games soon. Naomi, if you don't mind, after you change, we should coordinate our wish list. I'm gonna get that settled before the auction begins. No, don't leave me alone with the Vocalion Orgy Master. Excellent. Now let us resume the social amusements and jocularities. Story Bradley, we will speak, yes? Hamza leads me off, away from the chattering crowd, presumably not to eat me or yell at me or anything like that.
I make it a point to get to know all who attend my gatherings. Clearly, I have been remiss, as I allowed one who works with the hated Dekonami to enter. Hamza would like to know you better, my friend. Not that Hamza assumes you to be a spy, of course. It is simply a matter of what is proper and right.
I'm just a floor attendant for the Funplex. Not much else to say.
Come now. Surely there's more to you than that. Share with Hamza. Consider me an impartial third party. Surely there are matters that occupy your mind which would be inappropriate to air to your business partners?
What? Okay, this guy is clearly on a fishing expedition for dirt. Considering the high court of arcade royalty I'm suppose I'm supping with, maybe it's best not to give him anything. But I also don't want to make relations difficult for the Funplex. If this guy is really a leading supplier of cheap arcade games. Okay, I shouldn't say I'm the royal heir of Disneyland. That's sure. I won't bore you with the whole story, but the too long didn't read is that my family has had a curse of foul luck for quite a few years. Moving from city to city, job to job. After I left home, I couldn't find stable work. Not until the Funplex, I guess. Having a job for 2 weeks is not stable work. Just gonna let everyone know that. Simmer on that. If you've been employed for 2 weeks, don't count that as stable. I'm determined to make this work, but I'll admit I'm in a vulnerable position. It's not exactly a jet-setting executive role.
Hamza agrees.
Ah, yes, I see the dilemma you face. I've seen it many times before, in fact, including firsthand. Yes, I, Hamza, have known hardship. We all have, in the course of events. You are not alone in that condition, Tori Brayley.
Hamza began as a mere urban explorer and hunter of rare objects for a wealthy buyer in Dubai. You see, many debts pursued me, and in return for assistance in paying them, I stocked the arcade of his dreams. In time, my patron released me entirely from the woes of debt. They were difficult years, productive years to be certain, and throughout them, Hamza learned how to use the mystique of being Hamza to better achieve his goals. Now I stand before you with power, and with hard-earned respect for that power. I leverage it to ensure that those who respect games as I do can enjoy them, even if they lack coin. But yes, I have known hardship. We all have in the course of events. You are not alone in that condition, my friend.
Okay, so how do I get out of that condition? Do I need to indebt myself to a wealthy prince or something too?
No. You will need the will to dream, and the will to work. The will to make the trade-offs that will bring you closer to your ambitions.
Francine was mentioning something about that earlier. Wisdom and beauty. That is Francine. I'm trying not to make trade-offs, though. Not to settle. My parents, they gave up on so much just to barely scrape by. That is the puzzle, is it not? What to trade? Allow me to regale you with a story. Hamza makes a sweeping gesture to the beautiful ruin of the Donnawood mansion, to an oil painting hanging on the wall. At one time, Donna Michaels was a star in the rise. She had all she could ever desire, and indulged in her desires all day long. But so indulgent was she that she failed to maintain the work that brought her there. After her second album didn't meet expectations, she lost interest. For years, she lurked in these walls as a recluse, playing games for hours and hours. Rumor has it that she was found dead within her beloved arcade, hands still wrapped around a glowing joystick starved to death, lost in a game. Excuse me, what? Say that's ridiculous, but I've seen Percy play for hours and hours at a time. And now her lost and aimless spirit haunts this very place. Adrift as a ghost in the machine. Too spooky for me, man. Too spooky indeed. Now obviously a grim fairy tale, rather than reality, but I feel there is an important truth buried in the myth. I ask you, was Donna's life spiritually satisfying? She didn't need to make any more albums. She wanted for nothing, and had everything. You could even say she died doing what she loved, playing games. Okay, but she still died. No getting around that.
Hamza agrees.
Precisely. So many years thrown away, refusing the world around her in favor of a dream. A dream is a lovely thing, Tori Brightly, but you must balance a dream in one hand and the world in the other at all times. Naomi, she clings to her dream. Gavin, he clings to the world. Neither of them are truly happy as a result. What of you, Tori Brightly? Do you seek to be truly happy? Well, duh. What else was I gonna answer except yes? Hamza pressed a finger to my lips to silence me. Do not touch me, sir. Hold that thought. The auction is about to begin! Hamza claps twice, calling the room to attention.
Greetings, friends.
Friends, let us proceed to the arcade below. We have many games to bid on, all of which must be out the door by morning. As always, I will accept alternate bids, but test not the patience of Hamza. If your bid is not a serious offer, I can speak. The hours grow short. Any titles which find no takers will go to my own collection, and my hope is to find a happy home for every machine, one which will love and respect these games. Emotions for me in particular to follow as the group files downstairs. This way, this way! A bunch of folding chairs have been set up in front of a large HD TV. One of Hamza's assistants loads up a photo slideshow of the games on offer as the group settles in. Hey, shouldn't Francine be here for this? It's technically her money. She trusts the two of us to make the right decisions on purchasing games. Plus, I'd hate to interrupt her nap. Or her knitting. Or both. I swear she can knit in her sleep. Oh, I'm just too nervous. I think I'm gonna go browse the games again, see if there are any I missed. It's so dark down here. I swear I could swear that I didn't see them all. And how about you, Tori? Wanna watch the auction with me? Go up Naomi search the arcade. I'm fine either way. Ultimately, you're only here to help us lug our purchases out the door, so do whatever you like. Thanks. I think, I'll help him wave the paddle around. Auctioneering sounds fun. Do I get to wave our bidding paddle around? Hamza's auctions are usually a shout out loud affair, rather than discreetly signaling, but I admire your enthusiasm. Settle in next to Gavin on one of the rickety old folding chairs. Not quite as posh as the banquet spread above, but hey, it's business time, not indulgence time.
Naomi sent me a list of games she wants me to bid on. We argued it a bit, and I managed to bring her down to 3 must-haves, and the rest would-be-nices. Needless to say, if the would-be-nices start bidding up, I won't be bothered.
Do we have the storage space for the would-be-nices?
Well, technically, yes.
What about the cash?
Like I said, only if they don't get driven through the roof.
Then maybe keep an open mind, right? Don't forget to see the forest for the trees while looking at the bigger picture or something.
Right. As Francine says, I know. But there are certain hard realities in play.
It has begun!
I half expected mid-90s techno to start blasting it as his old slideshow begins, but nope, just pretty photos of old games.
Behold!
Look at these beautiful games! They could be yours! All yours! Before we dive right in, like a moment of recognition for Donna Michaels, whose spirit inhabits these halls. We who are about to rescue her games do so out of respect for her and her passions. May her soul be at peace with her beloved arcade in good hands. I thought you didn't believe in that tall tale. Or is he just being theatrical because that is the way of Hamza? Now then, shall we commence the auction, friends? I settle in and wait for Gavin to take an interest in the games on bid. Next item up for bid? I recognize this. It's a joust, just like the one I moved out to the floor 2 weeks ago. Joust. I believe that is the first challenge in Ready Player One. I think he has to beat a lich in Joust. Gavin frowns at his tablet, confused. Why is this on Naomi's must-have list? We already own one of these. The bidding opens at a pittance, a mere $50. Gavin shakes his head, ready to let this slide by. Two units side by side would make a good tournament. Hang on, it's a popular enough game, right? It's not a dog, but it's hardly a top earner. Maybe she's thinking we should run a tournament with them. 2 players going head-to-head competing for score. They usually avoid hosting events like that at the arcade. More trouble than they're worth.
Doubtful.
Let's see where the bidding goes. $100. They bid $250. I'll bet for $400. $1,000 complete my midway collection. Nope, not worth it. Or I can object, it's over.
Sold.
May your collection be perfected by this piece. Seems once he hears a bid he likes, it's all over. No going once, going twice. The next item up for auction is this rather unique piece. And, egods, it's the one ugly football game. Looks like the side art stickers weren't even put on straight. White paint is totally uneven, marquee's been broken, monitor has a big old as-is note. The joysticks are 4 different clashing colors, and do I hear 50? 40? Wait. I nudged Gavin, whispering. Put a bit on it. It's positively grotesque. I recognize the shape and the joystick colors. That's not really a football game. It's a TMNT. Naomi told me earlier that we need one of those. I thought they only had the crappy 2-player one, but that's definitely a TMNT at heart. It's a cheaply done conversion. No doubt some fool thought he'd get more profits off a sports game and lazily chopped it up. It need restoration work granted, but still he stands up.
I suppose.
I suppose I'll be willing to take it for $40. Maybe we can salvage the monitor. Good, good. All games deserve a home, even the ugly ducklings. Are there any other bids? Nope, not a one. Very well.
Sold.
To Gavin Cooper of the Funplex. Thank you. After Gavin sits down, I could swear I spotted Hamza wink at me. Does he know we just conned him? And is he okay with that?
Impressive.
You know, Tori, you're more knowledgeable about old arcade games than I thought you'd be. Well, my parents took me to arcades all the time back when I was a kid. I had a few favorites, like TMNT, Hubert, and... Those were good times. Better times.
Very well.
Well, I suppose you can relive those good times a little once Naomi restores that game. During your breaks and after work, please. Yes, sir. I realize my demeanor is one of seriousness, but it's not like I'm anti-fun. I enjoy a pinball game or two, for that matter. Father's more for the challenge, though. Order to chaos, developing mastery over the game, and so on. Which is fun for me. Fun is a highly variable concept from person to person. For example, undoubtedly Naomi is going to have considerable fun restoring that TMNT back to its former glory, precisely because it's so mutilated. Funplex provides fun in any form the visitor requires. That's my endgame, the goal I reach for. The tricky part, I found, balancing conflicting fun, sharing as many dreams or realized as possible, despite reality being rather harsh about it. We need to watch our budget today if we're going to optimize that fun. Do you understand? I guess being optimal is fun for you. Suppose it is at that.
Revel in the splendor.
Next, a rare find indeed. What would surely be the Jewel of any collector's treasure trove, provided there are discerning collectors who appreciate such splendors. The next game is a black and white driving game from 1970s. I'll give you Death Race, inspired by the movie of the same name and decorated with skulls. It sparked controversy nationwide.
Seriously?
The relic is seriously on Naomi's must-have list. Absolutely not. Not only is it an ancient artifact of a bygone age, I'd rather not have angry parents mad that little Timmy ran people over in a video game. They're gremlins, not humans, very blurry, white blobs of gremlins. Doesn't matter, it won't earn, and earning is critical for a small arcade such as ours. Hang on, how large is our piggy bank right now? Considering we skipped our first game and got our TMNT for pennies on the dollar, I think we can afford this last must-have. Yes, I suppose that's sensible. Good thinking, Tori. Conservative early bidding means we have enough to splurge on this. I doubt it'll perform fairly well in the arcade, honestly, but if it'll get Naomi off my back. Hamza, the Funplex bids $250. Godzooks! A find like that can't go for a paltry $250. I bid $300. $400. Consarn it, $500. 5. We have 5? Do we have any numbers above that? 6. 6 of one, half of a dozen of another. Tarnation? No one willing to match? Seems you have won yourself a piece of arcade history, Gavin Cooper. Sold. Satisfied, Gavin sits back down and offers me a curt nod of thanks. And that's everything on her list. Well, the must-haves and a few of the would-be-nices. Now to sit and wait while Hamza grinds his way through the rest of the stock. We can't start moving games out until the auction's complete. Naomi's not replying to our text. Can you go find her? I'm sure she's around here somewhere. Let her know what we bought. Sure thing. Leaving the excitable auction master and his compatriots behind, I started wandering through the maze-like arcade of Donna Wood's private collection. Naomi? Naomi, where the heck are you? Dark and quiet back here. Where can Naomi be? It's not like it's an infinite plane of games. There's only so many places she could hide. And as I walk by a game, the screen lights up. I freeze in my tracks as my hand accidentally brushes past the glowing joystick. Seems familiar, like something from a story I heard once. Hamza. Hamza's tall tale. He said Donna Michael supposedly died by playing one of these games. Game with a glowing joystick. Should walk away. I should go. I have official Funplex duties. I've been very good about not gaming when I should be working. But somebody's already inserted a quarter. The game is ready to play. One game couldn't hurt, right? Just one game. I want to play the game. Oh, I can only choose to play the game! What? My hands wrap around the stick as my eyes drink in the colored lights, swirling on the screen. Play the game. Play the game. Play the game forever. Polybus. 1980 Schmanter game start. This isn't real. It can't be real. I'm in there? That's me? It's just a game. Just a game I have to play forever. None of this is real. Level 1. The Harpy. Round start. What? There you are. I've been worried sick. What are you doing out here? Touching strange joysticks? Meeting strange people? Being in trouble? You need to stay safe, Tori. Trust me, believe in me, I can help you find your dreams. All you have to do is everything I tell you to. You depend on me, you need me, and you always depend on me. Always need me. I'll see to it by making sure I control everything in your life, for your own good. Harpy used overproactive, it's super effective. That hurt, it really hurt. I'll hide the truth from you, I'll keep you away from every chance you have to better yourself. I won't let you leave me, you'll always need me. It's not real, it's not real. Harpy used Yandir. It's super terrifying. Ow, Juniper, stop it, please! You agreed I was right to hide that job opportunity at my office from you. I was right, everything is fine. You'll never doubt me again, right? And if you do, I'll beat you until you understand. The game. I have to win the game. I get this feeling that if I don't win, I'll never get out of here. Something's wrong. I know Juniper's not a control freak. This isn't like her. Current health, 100%. Action? Attack by her, please. Refuse to believe. Refuse to believe. This is ridiculous. This isn't real, and this isn't you, Jennifer. I know how much of a bastard I am for saying this, but you're not competent enough to be a calculating mastermind, trying to keep me dangling from your leash. You're just too open, too honest, and too clumsy to pull off something like that. I know you. I've always known you. And I know you're sincerely trying to help me even when you mess up. Player used harsh truth. It's super honest. No! I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Tori. You're right. I just wanted to help you smile again. I made a mistake, but it wasn't to keep you under my thumb or anything like that. Juniper, I'm smiling. It's okay. Going to make this work. It's hard work, but I'm going to make my dream come true. Good. I'm so glad to hear it. Good old Juniper. Kind heart as always. Okay, I can do this. I can handle this. Level 2, the Shade. Round start. This is all your fault. Nope, I officially can't handle this. The pizza bagels, the debt, the rent payments, all of it. Piling up, mounting up, because you're a failure, and will always be a failure. The family curse, the tears, and the sorrow, moving from town to town, barely getting by, settling for what you can get, that's who you are, forever. It's never going to change. The arcade job, it'll collapse. It's already not enough to turn back the tide. Inevitably, the arcade will close. Bought out by Dekonami, and you'll be jobless, homeless, ruined, just like you deserve to be. Shade used depression. It's super unfortunate! You were better off not caring, not feeling anything. Go with the flow. Accept your fate. Fall away, knowing you never really had any other option. You can't even mount a defense, because I'm you, and you know I'm right. You know you're right. We'll never be happy. I can't do this. Current health, 100%. Action. Struggle against darkness. Summon a tame. Attack the Shade. Attack the Shade. Ring back, I launch an attack, pouring all my rage into the strike. Player use self-loathing. It's super destructive. That's right. Let it out. Hurt me, because I'm you, and you know you want to hurt yourself. Everything always goes wrong, always. And the one constant in all that wreckage is me, so it must be my fault. Player use despair. It's super depressing. Okay. Step number 1, once I'm out of this mess, therapy. Prepare for final boss. Good, I'm ready, and I'm definitely ready to get out of here. Level 3, the Lost Soul. Round start. I don't get it, not one bit. Are you Donna Michaels? Girls just want to play game. Let's fucking. What is her name? Her name is not Donna Michaels. It's girls just wanna have fun. She's alive. Yeah, I can't remember her name. I just wanted to be happy. I made a place where I could be happy forever. Walked inside, then locked the door and threw away the key. Cyndi Lauper! Cyndi Lauper is who I was thinking of. Does kind of look like Cyndi Lauper. I got what I wanted. I was happy. I didn't struggle. I didn't try. I didn't do anything more than I had to do. Just like you. Like me, I'm not a billionaire pop princess. Neither was I. Nobody liked my second album. I wasn't meant to be a star, so I gave up. I was okay taking the money and running. You could do the same. Maintain. Eat the pizza bagels. Do everything that's asked of you. Let Juniper continue to float the rent. You're in a good place. You could stay here. You could let go. Play games forever. Be happy. No ambition, no hope, no need. You'll be fine. You'll be safe. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Ever since my little lunch date, something's been bugging me. Maybe now I know what that is. Why did I ask to replace Ashley on this trip? I didn't have to. And it asked me to. Why did I do it? Because this isn't enough. Being an arcade floor attendant isn't enough. Living hand to mouth isn't enough. Good. Quit your job. Quit and become like me. Lose yourself in the games. Oh, I'm not quitting. That's not what I meant at all. I want to fight. Current health, 60%. Action? No, I'm not fighting her. That's not what I meant either. simple math, isn't it? If I'm struggling to make ends meet, it's because the arcade itself is struggling. The solution is so simple, I'm kind of amazed I didn't see it before. The arcade could be so much more. I could lead the way, go above and beyond, just doing what I'm told. I could champion the cause of the Funplex. That's my dream. I want to end the family curse, to find both success and happiness. And when the Funplex is finally the roaring success it deserves to be, with God as my witness, I shall never eat a pizza bagel again. Don't say that. Don't say that. Sometimes you need a pizza bagel. Even if you make $1 billion trillion, sometimes you need a pizza bagel. But the glitchy shade just looks at me with confusion. That sounds hard. Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? It's a hard pack, but that's how it's gonna be. No, I don't think so. I think you need to stay here with me. You need to play games forever. That's so much easier, isn't it? To just let go? I can make you see. I can keep you here. Drag you down, tear you apart. I eyed my health bar nervously. I made a few false steps, and it's dropped a bit. Plus, I don't think Polybus is happy that I'm not giving in. I can't risk a fight with Donna in this state. I need to get out of here. Or, do I want to risk it all and try and save Donna too? Save Donna! This is risky as hell, but nobody deserves to be trapped inside a video game forever. Assuming I'm not just wildly hallucinating based on Hamza's spooky story taking root in my mind and none of this is actually real in the slightest. Donna, I'm not staying, and you don't have to either. Polybus is making you feel this way, taking advantage of you, leveraging your depression. I know because I've been mired in depression too. Mired? And I know if I can beat it, so can you. Nobody wanted me. They hated the second album. They moved on. Why not play games forever? Why not lock the door behind me? Nobody cared. Nobody cares. Okay, girls just want to play games, I get it. But this game? It's barely even a game. You've been stuck in here for so long. Aren't you bored yet? Your life was cut short by Polybus. Before you could enjoy all the games you wanted to. It doesn't have to be over. Please. But it's all over, isn't it? I died. I'm not even Donna's spirit. All that's left is a simulation of me, running through the subroutines of Polybus. Error. Tori, thank you. Thank you for trying to save me. But there's nothing left to save. I'm not real. You seem real enough to me. Error. No escape. Purpose. Code. Execute. You need to go before Polybus completes its data collection of you and disposes of the original, like it did to me. I'll hold it back. And your BFF will do the rest. My what?
Digital BFF to the rescue!
Okay. Finally figured out how to break you out of this, but my apologies in advance. Hang on, do I smell something burning? No escape, erase Donna, replace with new player, erase! She's fading, but smiling all the same. It's okay, I'm ready. Go out there and fight for your dream, Tori. Don't give up, no matter what. I saved her as best I could. At least she escaped, in her own way. Also, something smells like bacon, and I'm in a lot of pain. My conscience snaps back. My hand releases the joystick immediately. Also, my pants are on fire. On instinct, I kick off my shoes and yank my jeans down, getting rid of them as fast as possible. Stamping on them, I quickly put out the flames, leaving only smoldering denim. And the melted remains of my phone. Iris. Oh no, she sacrificed herself to save my life. Wait, no, she lives in the clouds. She'll be totally fine. Still, I'm out of phone and possibly have first-degree burns. And I'm backing the hell away from that demonic video game as fast as possible. Quickly, I rush towards the sound of people talking to catch up with Gavin. You have no pants on, ma'am! You have no pants on! Do not rush towards people! Gavin!
Greetings.
Oh, there you are. Did you find Naomi? The action's nearly over. Wait, where are your pants? Not important right now. Need to put a bid down on a game called Polybus so we can destroy it before it hurts anyone else. What? Look, it's a long story, we may not have much time, so if you wanted that game, whatever it is, should have put it on the wish list. They're bidding on it now. What? Sold. One rare Polybus prototype for an undisclosed sum to the undisclosed bidder. That's the FBI. That is the FBI. The woman who hadn't said anything at all said anything all night long, nods her head in appreciation, still expressionless. Thank you for your cooperation. Two similarly dressed men in black rise from the chairs, departing with the woman, presumably to go back up the game. Put in Warehouse 13 or something. That's a good show. Warehouse 13? Good show. Hamza, wait, you can't. Hamza's hands are tied. All sales are final. This one in particular is extremely final. Hamza does not seek to cross federal authorities. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I should let this one go too. And honestly, the sooner I forget about it, the better. Especially if I don't want to be renditioned to a black site person at an undisclosed location. Feel the need to emphasize that you aren't wearing any pants. Yeah, my phone caught on fire while it was in my pocket. So this is why I don't like smartphones. They're privacy invasive, overly expensive, and occasionally combustible. An unfortunate incident, indeed. But as a hospitable host, my course is clear.
Hamza shall provide you with his pants.
Excuse me, what, Hamza? That is extremely not necessary. Fortunately, rather than whipping off his trousers right there and then, Hamza summons one of his helpers with a clap and provides a spare pair. Why do you just have pants on the pants?
In my line of work, one must be prepared for all eventualities.
Now, an apology for being unable to provide you with the game you sought. Perhaps Hamza can offer you something special in recompense. My friends, the final 3 games for auction are all rare, all special, all highly sought after by collectors and operators alike. Only a few prototypes were ever made, released to test markets, none of them made it to mass production. What you are about to see are rare gems of arcade history. Tori Brayley, you may make a priority bid on any one of these games of your choosing. Glance at Gavin, who is shaking his head lightly, confirms we're officially out of bidding power. Not that I really care. I can't think of any obscure games I really want to add to the Funplex, but better to accept Hamza's apology and take a gander at them. Sure, let's see them. With a click of a slide, I see.
Behold, Phrase Invaders, Wyvern Keep, and Zombie Meltdown, all in mint condition. All 3 are sought after endlessly by collectors, and now you can bid on Phrase Invaders, a unique typing-based game from the land of the rising sun, Japan. Defeat the alien menace armed only with a keyboard. Wyvern Keep, a much sought-after Laserdisc full-motion video game. Play Princess Plucky and rescue the fair prince from the clutches of a terrible beast. And finally, Zombie Meltdown, a classic 1980 light gun shooting game where you save the president from the red threat of radioactive mutant zombies.
I think I want Wyvern Keep.
Tell me, which of these rare games sings to you? And what can you offer Hamza in return?
Do you want some burnt pants?
I'll allow you a few moments to ponder your desires.
That's a cat! Are you done yet? I've been waiting upstairs for ages. Why are you holding a box of kittens, Naomi? Oh, I found them hidden in an old arcade cabinet. Francine and I are gonna take them to a shelter. No, I want them all!
Wow!
Wait, is that Phrase Invaders? OMG, I've never seen one in person. I could restore that, really make it shine. Please, 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 can we bid on it?
Doubtful.
Even if we had the money, a quirky old Japanese game with weird controls won't earn a single token. Now Zombie Meltdown, that's another story. Everybody likes a light gun game. Simple controls, simple premise, that'll earn and earn well.
Ugh.
Ew, no way. Too violent and gross and jingostic and immature. I guess Wyvern Keep would be okay too. One protagonist, 50 cents to play. That is cool, but it'll work for both of us.
I suppose.
Suppose I could live with that, yes. But it's all moot. We can't afford any of them. These are all the sorts of games millionaires and private collectors scoop up. I suggest we get to work moving our purchases out of the inventory. Do you concur? Eartha Tori, you in there? Hello? I remember. Before my family fell in hard times, before the curse kicked in, every summer we'd go to the beach and there was this arcade with this one game I fell completely in love with. A game no one had ever heard of before. Yes, I remember now. Hamza, I've come to bargain.
Such fire!
Yeah, I'm gonna end the stream soon. I see fire in your eyes, Harper. Most impressive. Speak your desires for all to hear. The game I remember so fondly was Wyvern Keep. Right? Yeah. The narrator, the music, the way the cartoon played out in front of me. Amazing, like nothing I'd ever seen before. Traded tips with other kids at the arcade, trying to master the sequence of moves to win the game. And eventually, I beat the Wyvern. I rescued the prince, the first kid in the arcade to do so. My parents were so proud of me. Those were good years, good memories before the sorrows drowned them out. I wish to make a bid for Wyvern Keep. Good choice. I'm okay with that. I suppose Wyvern Keep could earn its keep, but we still can't afford it.
Interesting.
You can see the passion.
I can see
you
the
have.
passion you have for this game, my friend. But the world demands its toll. What will you bid to obtain the game of your dreams, I wonder? Consider this the final lesson of Hamza. What will you trade to realize your ambitions? What do you hold in equal value to them? Show Hamza what you have on offer, my friend. Show him the value you hold within your spirit, and perhaps fortune will smile upon you this day rather than cursing your name.
Alternative bids. I remember Gavin mentioning that. Hamza would accept things other than money if they took his fancy. I have one shot at this. I can't half-ass it. He's an emotional guy and expects an emotional response.
Hey, listen.
Alright, I'm over here now. Why is my phone calling out to you exactly? And that doesn't sound like my iris. Now, seriously, Hamza, hold that second. Gavin, can I borrow your phone for a second? Perhaps too confused to offer resistance, Gavin passes me his phone. I turn my back and begin a heated exchange of whispers. Thanks for saving me by burning my pants, but this is not a good time, Iris. It's important. My emotional tension detection routines indicated this is an intense identity situation. My programmers wanted to fit in an R, but you know the rest. Since you need to be super convincing, you'll only be able to respond in a way that matches one of your top 2 traits, excluding basically. Fortunately, I've been tracking your personality all the time, so I can advise you as what the response will work and won't work. Ready? Let's do it. Well, it certainly was a whole lot of words to tell me what I already knew. That I'd only be able to convince Hamza if I was true to myself. Let's do this. I offer you an opportunity. I offer you a joke. Offer you... For you a joke, I offer you an opportunity. I don't want to know the joke. We're gonna find out the joke. I offer you a joke. Interesting? Continue. What do you call an arcade game that involves you hitting avocados with a hammer? Hamza does not know. What do you call an arcade game that involves you hitting avocados with a hammer? Guacamole! I accept your offer. The game is yours. You've got to be kidding me. I thought it was funny. Okay. I did it. I actually own a copy of Wyvern Keep. Alright, we're going to save here. And then we are going to... Wait. Ooh, I keep forgetting that's on a coaster. Okay. So... we're gonna end it here. If you want to keep up with us, here are our socials. Twitter, I share a bunch of memes, and that's where I post our stream schedule. Our next stream is going to be Friday. I'm going to be streaming Stardew Valley, and maybe I'll end up with a child, who knows. And then on Sunday, I'll post the next stream schedule. And then YouTube is where all of our VODs are. I try and keep them up to date. And then if you go to our website, you can see what we do as a company. Pretty soon we're going to have some Pathfinder 2nd edition compatible books up there. And you can just read about who we are. And is there anyone I can raid? I've never actually clicked this raid channel button. There's no one to raid, so never mind. Anyways, gonna end it here. Okay, bye!